Ready? Okay. It's 4 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Need a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay. I guess I'll second that.
Good.
We are moving VA in the first thing, and we are taking a few things out, so we'll just get those in when we come to it. So let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First up, we have public comment, and I don't think we probably have any public comment. Okay, we'll move on to the VA budget. Denise, Bryant, if you want to come up.
I've not done this before, so I don't know what all you, I haven't done this before, so I'm not sure what all you guys want.
We'll just kind
Okay.
of just start through the budget and we'll look at it. I think basically in looking at it, Denise, it looks like everything's down on your budget.
Yeah, I tried to go through and go for the last 3 or 4 years if we haven't used it. We figured we weren't going to use it this year. Tried to reduce.
Okay,
So, and I was looking for hopefully maybe 28 hours a week instead of 26,
28 hours?
if that was
Okay.
possible for me.
Okay.
I'm not sure where the cutoff comes when you consider it full-time, when you have to do benefits. I thought that was at 30 or 32, so I
Okay.
was hoping 28 would work.
Have you visited with your board about that
Yes.
too? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't really see a problem with that, do you, Todd?
No,
Okay.
not as long as we stay under that 40,
Yeah.
I guess, yep.
Yep,
Okay. And then my part-timer, I wanted to give her a 50-cent raise.
okay,
And then I had the next one, I was wanted to put a third person in the office that could be trained as a VSO. So if I'm not in the office or I decide to retire, there's somebody that could take my place and be ready to go. That would be at 26 hours a week.
and what would that, what were you thinking of for a wage on that?
I think starting wages is at 13.
$13 an hour? Okay. Okay. It looks to me like you're down $10,000, almost $10,000 on your budget. Do you have any comments?
No, it looks really good.
So you can have a third person trained? Okay,
And
Yeah,
we had
I mean,
we have the funding through the allocation for training for that person, and we also have an extra $3,000 that we're getting from the state per year for training.
Okay.
It pays for the training and stuff like that, so it would all come out of that money there.
Okay.
sounds like you're all good news today,
Yeah,
Denise.
I'm trying.
That sounds good. And you still get the $10,000 from the federal or the state?
State.
The state, okay. Okay. I think yours is a pretty easy budget, so I'd
Yes,
say,
it looks good.
Looks
And
good.
I had a couple of things. I was wondering if I could have a space over here someplace where I could leave some pamphlets and booklets for veterans to pick up information. That way, if they live this way, and they could pick up stuff before they come to my office. Okay, great. And then our parking lot, I see you're going to be doing the Shenandoah building budget for, I guess, maintenance and stuff. Is there any way we can get anything done with that parking lot, like concrete?
We talked last year, we talked when we came over and visited.
Yeah.
And about putting more gravel in there.
That never happened either.
It never happened? Okay. We can definitely talk about that again and
Yeah.
see if they can get some.
We
put
like
over there.
asphalt or concrete, but I'll even settle for maintained gravel at this
Yeah,
point.
just to keep it from getting all muddy and stuff.
Yeah, there's some pretty good dips in it again already.
And we can talk about that when we look at that
Right.
building budget and stuff too.
Yeah. Okay.
Maintenance and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
We'll work on that.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Denise.
Yep.
Thanks for coming over. Okay,
Thanks for letting us know that we come over yesterday.
okay.
Yeah.
Take care. Okay, Sam. Do public health budget. Okay.
Just want to go line by line, or just
Um,
point out things that were changed?
We can look at what's been changed. I noticed there's a 4.63% increase in salaries. Is that Board of Health, or is that just something you plugged in?
We did a 5% increase across the board for everybody.
5%, okay. Is that-
start at.
That Board of Health, or, okay. It looks like 4.63 when it came out, so,
Yeah, it was 5%, so I'm not sure
okay,
how the numbers.
okay.
The health insurance on Candace went down from family to single, so that was the savings there. Increased mileage a little bit for her. Wages for the temporary part-time, that's Jara and Becky are part-time. Last year, I'm not sure if it was figured correctly with Becky's time in there, so that's why it looks like it went up significantly, but
Yeah, it looks like 18,000.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Becky wasn't hired.
We
at the
had,
beginning,
no,
was
she was just hired after this fiscal year, and when we
Yeah.
did budget last year, I had put in for a part-time.
Okay.
And then wages got figured differently, and I just wonder if it got left out, or I'm not sure exactly what happened, but,
Yeah.
so that includes Becky and Jara in that
Okay.
line. Otherwise, nothing really has changed.
Okay,
And I left the opioid settlement stuff the same.
okay. And what we're paying Montgomery County is the same,
Yep,
Okay.
it's the same amount.
okay. And that's working okay.
For me, yeah,
Everything's
as far as
doing-
I know.
Everything's doing
Yeah.
okay, that's good,
Yep.
okay. So the whole budget's up like 20,000,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. I guess there isn't anything we can do if Board of Health approved the 5%. They're the ones.
And I will say, in Montgomery County, the Board of Supervisors comes out and gives you a percentage to start at.
I know, we haven't
And,
been
and so
able
that's
to do
why I
that
just
yet.
plugged
Yeah.
this in.
Yeah,
They approve it at whatever we plug it in at,
Yeah.
but it's contingent on what the Board of Supervisors puts out for everybody else.
Okay.
So, and they give me the power to lower, upper,
yeah.
adjust it as needed. So that's just a starting
We
point.
kind of were gonna go lower probably.
Yeah, and that was just a starting point, is
Yeah.
what I've done for the last several years, and
Okay.
I just put it in there.
Okay.
So if we lowered it, what would you do?
I'd lower it.
Would you lower it? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I usually follow what the Board of Supervisors
okay,
recommend.
okay. Well, it may get lowered, so if you're okay with that. We'll see. We got a late start, and so we haven't even had a chance to discuss this.
Yeah, and it fluctuates too, like in Montgomery County, they'll approve one, and then they'll say, well, adjust it to this, and so
Right.
we just,
Go back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Brian's on Zoom now. So we hopefully will be able to discuss this either tomorrow or beginning of next week and try to come up with something, so,
okay,
yeah. So we'll let you know.
yeah, sounds good.
And let everybody know, so, okay.
Okay,
Sounds good.
perfect.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you, guys.
We appreciate it. Lost my stamp somewhere.
Is this wellness?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Good job.
Are you guys ready? Sorry.
Yep, no,
No, just a second, I gotta find it. Okay,
keep it rolling.
okay. Keep it moving here. Okay, we got wellness, Kim. Okay, so I am here representing wellness. I'm one of the co-chairs, along with Lisa Nelson. And we'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Board of Supervisors for their trust and support of the County Wellness Committee and program over the last several years. Due to your support, the County Wellness Committee's continued effort to promote a healthy lifestyle and the county employees' engagement and participation in the wellness program, we were able to save the county $57,618.80 in health premiums in fiscal year '24.
Nice.
We have already earned Peanut gallery. We've already earned the 5% wellness discount on our fiscal year '26 health insurance premiums as well.
That's wonderful.
Yep, and again, that's due to your support and the committee efforts and the employees' willingness to engage in multiple wellness programs and activities. The Wellness Committee is made up of employees and officials from several different county departments. I guess I kind of wanted so that Brian would kind of know where we were coming from too. So it's made up of employees and officials, and we meet at least quarterly to brainstorm and plan the wellness programs, challenges, and events and to encourage members to focus on their overall wellness. ISAC is once again sponsoring the 10,000 Steps Per Day Challenge, as well as a couple of county versus county walking challenges, and those can be found on Navigate. We intend to continue with the annual county blood draw, but are exploring possibly having that in the spring. The annual flu shot clinic in the fall. We plan to continue to offer incentives for completing the online assessment and wellness exams early. And this year, we're planning to offer an incentive for those members who complete 4 challenges from the Navigate site. There are several challenges for members to choose from, and that we're hoping that after they complete their online assessment, that they might select challenges in areas of their health that they wish to improve upon or just learn more about. There are 8 pillars of wellness in there: balance, mindfulness, community, financial, nutrition, social, physical, and purpose. So lots to choose from. And then there are multiple challenges and courses under each of those pillars. So again, the employees have a lot to choose from, and we're hoping just to get them more engaged in that site. We're also hoping to offer some mini challenges throughout the year, lasting around a month each, and those are still in the planning phase, and so we haven't put out what those might be, but just hoping again to offer, to get some engagement and encourage people like myself that can improve on their health, and it can be mental health, physical health, those kind of things, but to kind of build our social community as well. With that, as you can see, we're asking for the same funding as last year, being the $9,000. And we again want to thank you for your support and consideration of this request. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer those.
I think it's well worth it.
Pretty good payback.
Yeah.
Okay.
9,000
The
to
committee-
57,000, so.
Okay.
You should sit in the committee sometime. I'm fortunate to be able to sit on it, representing the Board of Supervisors. And the people that are on this committee sit there and, as Kim says, they brainstorm, and the ideas that come out are just bloop, 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 bloop. It's really
Yeah.
neat. So
Yeah.
a lot of ideas come forth, and
It's good to have people from
Yeah.
all different departments.
Right.
And, we've got men, we've got women, we've got younger people, we have people that are a little older, and just trying to, but some of us have the similar concerns, and it's fun to have a group to work with.
Right.
So, yeah, the committee is a great committee, and I enjoy working on it. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Very good. Okay. Did you get my text? I did. Oh, okay, good. I sent it to you. Oh, you sent it? Oh, you emailed it? Oh, okay. Whoops. Yeah. Please. Sorry, I had another meeting. So.
Oh, we do?
I just thought it would be easier for us to follow that way,
Yes.
because the budget is just all over the place.
Yes.
We have so many lines that are blank and moved and changed. I should have thought of it before, Charles. Sorry, I
No,
didn't.
that's fine. We tried to do our best.
We all try.
When I worked on that, I tried to, things were not in the right place, like the people that are being paid out of rural basic and general they weren't right. And so I tried to correct all that. And so Kristen had quite an effort, but I think it'll be good. And then we can make those lines that were no longer budgeted and inactive, and then they won't show.
Okay.
So,
It's, yeah, it's just,
yes,
it's just, we can't make them inactive if there's still numbers in there because
we're still working out of that budget.
yeah,
Yeah.
because we still have to have
So-
those numbers.
I don't know if this makes sense to you or not, Todd, but
Yep.
this is where we
Oh.
budgeted, so only the ones where
with the-
there's numbers in.
Okay, yep,
If
gotcha.
we can all have a copy, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
There
you.
you go. Can we email one to Brian?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, whoops, there's the whole,
No, it's front and back. Did you do a single-sided, Corey? Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Sorry. Did you get one? There,
No, that's all right, I'll get one.
okay.
And kind of like Sam, we worked with we worked with the 4%. We didn't know what the raise was gonna be.
Yep.
So we kind of worked with the 4%, so
Okay.
that of course can be
Okay.
adjusted.
That's fine. We can adjust, we can cause the auditor's office more work. I remember those days.
Keeps you guys out of trouble.
That's right.
Thanks, Corey.
It's the job. Job security.
Charles, can you do this?
I know who will be doing it, so. I knew who would be doing it. I'm sorry for the last minute, but
No, that's okay.
I just thought of it and I
That's
thought.
okay.
Thank you.
I tried to kind of highlight every other person, so it's easier.
Yeah.
Kim, can you make one more for Lynn?
Oh,
And then we just highlighted.
when I was looking at it the other day, I was kind of going cross-eyed. It was like, this is crazy. Whoops, where did Brian go? He disappeared.
Sure. There he is.
There he is, okay. You disappeared for a minute, Brian.
He's muted.
Thank you, appreciate that. Did he get you this?
Okay. This is much easier to see. Much easier. Okay, Charles, you're up.
All right.
Thank you. Okay. So we can kind of skip some of these lines and, okay.
So I'm Charles McCullough, I'm the current sheriff here at Page County. I think the first thing on here is all incomes and stuff for all my guys and stuff like that.
The stipend.
The stipend, that goes to Mr.
Riddle.
Riddle for administrative duties that he does at the sheriff's office.
As chief deputy.
As chief deputy, yes, it's a 5% stipend. So as far as the sheriff and the chief deputy, I know you guys are plugging in, what, 3.7 or 4%?
We aren't yet.
We
You're
haven't
not
plugged-
yet,
We
okay?
aren't
Haven't
yet.
plugged in
You
anything
haven't,
yet.
you haven't seen that
We
thing.
haven't plugged anything in yet.
You haven't plugged anything
We're
in
working,
yet.
we're going to work on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have an idea to hopefully free up some money, because in my department, as far as our guys, we are lagging behind everyone else. We are having a tough time hiring, we're having a tough time retaining people due to low pay, stuff like that. So, and I've talked this over with Mr. Riddle and myself, we are willing, him and myself, to take a 0% increase this year and next year if we can get the people that work for us some type of extra type of money to maybe get us bumped and get started back to either a percentage or ramped up to get us more competitive.
Okay,
The more competitive we are, the less we have to train, the less we have to rehire, all that.
okay, and before you go further, I have sent an email
Okay?
to the state auditor
Okay?
to see if we can do this,
Okay?
because of the Back the Blue
I understand.
that we are supposed to be doing.
Okay?
We're supposed to be honoring that.
Yes.
And I said, as long as we have done our research and checked on that.
Yep.
Our sheriff wants to freeze his salary and give the raises to the deputies.
Yes.
May we do that without getting in trouble? And I have not heard from him. I just sent it last night.
Perfect. I understand.
So-
and I'm glad you're checking on that.
Yes.
I guess the way I kind of see it is there's only one person here in Page County that could be pushing the Back to Blue law, and you're looking at him right now. And he's the one standing in the middle of the road with his hand out saying, please meet me here.
I know.
Please help me.
Yeah, and I understand that, but
Yes.
we don't want to get the county
I
in trouble.
understand. I understand.
So, yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the rules are.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
So, I
We
mean, I
just
think
don't-
it's a great idea.
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
and your generosity is great,
Yep.
but we don't want to get the county in trouble, so.
I understand.
Yeah.
So I hope that they understand what my side is on this
Right.
to get our people paid.
Yes.
Versus I'm okay for 2 years.
Okay,
Now, the third year,
yeah.
obviously, we're gonna talk more, but
They don't, you're gonna, you guys are gonna want to go, choo, okay? Yeah, okay, all right. Moving along, then, okay. Let's see if we can skip the salaries and get them. Okay, so we go to the reserves,
okay.
and you've got that on here too. With the
Yes,
adjustment, you want to go from 1877 to 20.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that takes in that 20,000, correct? That total of 20,000.
The 20,000.
Yeah,
You're
it
down on
gives
page
you-
3.
20,120 from 18,773.
So that takes in all of the reserves.
Yes,
Okay, okay. And then we've got all the FICA and the IPERS for everybody and everything. So then we go to page 4. And we'll pass that because we've
How many
got,
reserves do you have, Charles?
we have 7 reserves currently.
7 reserves.
I believe, excuse me, we have 8 reserves. 3 of them are not certified yet, but will shortly be certified. So we have 5 that we use fairly often.
Okay. How many hours do they get a week? Or they're just kind of backups? Like
Backups, any transports. We've got a great group of guys that, in the middle of the night, call them to take a transport to Council Bluffs. And they're
Okay.
coming out in the middle of the night to do that.
Okay.
are they used mainly for transport?
Mostly for transports. Obviously, we are 2 deputies down right now. And they're filling shifts too.
Okay,
We gotta have somebody.
okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Something that I didn't know that I found out since going to the sheriff's department is that those reserves can't just say, hey, I want to be a reserve
I know.
and get to do it. They put in lots and lots of hours of their own time. And they are we do have a good crew. So I just think, I think that's why we think $20 is a good thing. is
Yep.
that I didn't know if you guys knew that. I did not know they had to put in so many hours of right a long time to be, it makes sense.
Right.
To
Right.
get up,
There's a lot
to
to
know what
learn.
they're doing.
For 380 hours is what they
Yeah.
have to do for ride time,
380,
plus
okay.
the educational side of it.
Right, okay. Okay. So then we move down, I would say, to page 5 on fuels. the bottom of the page, where you have fuels for 55,000.
Okay.
You've increased that from 47,000 to 55,000.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you that I don't know if this amount, this 63% on there, I'm not sure if this would have been run before or after
It's
January.
January.
Is it a January?
It's a January, so it's
Okay.
over, yeah.
Okay, because we had trouble with the bill, and so there was a month that we paid really big.
Yeah. I don't know that we're looking so much at that, but anyway.
That's an $8,000 increase.
Yeah, that's because, and it gets up there at 37% when we'd gotten these papers to work on, we'd had that problem with WEX.
Yep.
And so now it's being counted in there. And so-
63?
Yeah, so we're at 58% of the year, and that's at 63. Fuel is a tremendous, it's about $5,500 a month that we pay for fuel. And that's with prices being lower and not knowing what they're gonna do going ahead.
But as of right now, we're still too short, so we're not running 2 extra
Vehicles, yeah.
Right.
down the road yet either, so.
Okay. Okay. I want to go to the next page then.
So what was general, and then you have rural.
Right.
Fuels,
Fuels out
okay,
of general and rural basics.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So it looks like
And the way it looks, we've been paying out of general basic for a little while, and, we'll flip back over and pay out the other one for a little while, so,
it goes by your deputies, doesn't it?
yes.
I did try to do that, I wasn't able to, we've been having trouble with WEX, like I said.
Okay.
Being able to get the billing, so. for the-
Sorted.
We couldn't get into it because.
Oh, okay.
Somebody else had to log in that's no longer there, and, I had a terrible time getting access.
Oh, okay.
So I finally, well, I still don't have access, but anyway, the last bill, I just had 2%, and I was just like 2/3 out of general and 1/3 out of, but typically it is by the deputies, and we have
Okay.
3 rural deputies and the others.
And that's what determines where it comes out of?
Yes.
Right,
Which-
yeah.
so-
Okay.
Okay.
Looks like the next page is pretty much the same as far as line items. Okay. And same for the next. Okay.
01,000, 01,000, 422, 05, 25. We upped that to 35,000 because I'm hoping to get 2 deputies on in this next year, and they're probably both going
Have
to
to
go
go to
into
the academy. That's what I figured.
Yep.
Okay.
We also want to explain to you why the wearing apparel fluctuates between.
Oh, yes, on the wearing apparel for our deputies, it's generally, everybody gets $400 a year, and then on the 5th year, it's $1,200 because bulletproof vests are about $800 a piece right now. And
Okay.
yeah, they expire every 5 years.
Okay.
Okay.
We did call to get an estimate on the academy, and it's about 13,000 per person to send them.
Maybe we'll be lucky enough to get somebody that's
Maybe
already.
we will.
We're hoping, yes, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Okay, so then they also have to pack meals, okay, then, your radio equipment's the same.
Insurance looked like it went
The
up,
auto insurance has gone up because we got new cars, right?
or no, what?
No?
No,
It just went up,
The premiums.
Are going up.
That's just a premium increase.
okay,
Wow.
okay. Okay, your dues have gone down. The ammunition's the same.
yep,
Your card, GPS cards are the same.
Yep.
New cars went up a little bit.
yes, it went up just a little bit.
Okay.
Lyle was in the Dodge pickups. I would like to go to the Dodge Durango. We have one on our fleet right now.
Is that the black
And
one?
Better gas mileage. They're actually built for a pursuit-rated vehicle versus our pickups are not.
Okay,
Liability, if we have an accident in a pursuit, we'd probably be left holding the bag on that one. So, you know, the Durango, just a little bit smaller vehicle, a little bit more agile. It's built for law enforcement, so.
okay.
So this is money towards that?
Yes.
Getting another, or getting a new one?
It would be two Durangos.
Two Durangos?
Yes, yes. And they are roughly about $68,000 completely upfitted for, per vehicle.
What did our last Ford, or last,
The last Dodge we got,
Yeah.
the last Durango, so we actually got that
I
on
knew you got that one on,
Keltec, and we paid $25,000 for it with 13,000 miles on it.
what were the last pickups though?
The last pickups were approximately $39,000 to buy them and another $10,000 to $12,000 to upfit them.
So they're cheaper than the Durangos?
About $3,000 to $4,000, yes, total.
Okay. 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 Then we'll move to the jail. Okay. And we've increased the jailers.
Yes,
Okay. And you have $1 an hour.
yes.
Okay.
So what I wanted to do there, and we didn't actually get that put down, it's $1 an hour plus whatever 3.7 or whatever you guys are offering as far as the cost of living plus $1 an hour. We just recently lost a jailer to another county bordering us, and it's strictly money.
So what's the other county paying?
So you would add the dollar no matter what we,
I would like to add the dollar plus the percentage that you guys are giving.
What's the other county paying?
I don't know, I can't seem to get them pinned down exactly what they started her at, but they also do dispatch and jail versus just jailers. So,
Does that person live in the other county?
no, lives in a third county, completely different,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Do we have that information?
Yes.
Are you guys still, are the jailers still getting longevity?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if, I haven't seen it yet, but if you would like us to get the surrounding counties, what their people are making.
Sure, that'd be fine.
that would be fun.
That'd be good.
I've never seen it.
Okay, I got it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
I'll
So
write it
I
down.
think
Okay.
because we're bottom of the,
I know we have been.
yeah.
Quite a while.
Okay.
So it makes it really hard to get them and it makes it really hard to keep them. Can I just say, I just want to say too, on that job, you don't know what that job is until you've been there. And so, you know, people think, well, all they do is just sit there and then go in and check the inmates occasionally. It's a lot more than that. And we're dealing with people that are, we're dealing with people that have mental issues. It's a lot of mental issues, I feel like. I'm speaking out of turn, but I do feel like there's a lot of mental illness and a lot of drug use. And the stuff that my jailers are having to do. I mean, people smear their bodily
Feces.
on the walls and they just do a lot of things that most of us wouldn't want to deal with that. And they're dealing with it on a daily basis. And so they're by no means overpaid, I will say that. And again, I feel like it was something that I didn't really realize until I've been there. And they're very good. These people are very good at their jobs. You know, they're very good to calm the situation. I mean, they have to do that a lot of times with just their tones and their mannerisms, you know, to calm the people. So anyway, sit back down again.
You should have stayed in the auditor's office.
You've known me long enough, this is a problem.
You've got an advocate there, Charles.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am. That's
yes,
why
you
we
do.
have her.
Okay, and Tony?
Yes, that's why we have him too.
I know. Tony's been doing a tremendous job on the jail.
Yes.
As well as IT and everything else.
And obviously, if you look at it, I asked for a raise for him again this year too.
Yes.
A little bit more.
Yes. 32 years, okay. Okay,
And Tony does,
Keep going.
I'm sorry, but Tony's basically dealing with all of the people that have to do with the building of the jail. So he's constantly taking their phone calls, and he's working between people and trying to find that balance to get Page County what it needs, you know, as far as our new jail. And he's a real mastermind. And I tell him occasionally that I don't like him, but I do like him. And
you realize you're on video.
I know. He does handle the majority of our IT. We do tap Corey occasionally if Tony just says, I don't know. You know, Corey will help us too, but Tony does answer a lot of his senior staff's questions. So he's very good, has a good handle on everything that the sheriff's office does. You know, he runs the jail, he's basically running the building of the jail. He helps me, you know, he's helping and training me in my position, and does a lot of work with the deputies too, so.
Okay,
And this is doubling the stipend too, on top of the 17%
Not quite,
or
but
14% raise.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
His stipend was like
I
less
wrote-
than
I
around
wrote through it.
1,700.
Yep, and then, okay.
1656, and I'm gonna go to
Yep,
3,000.
a little bit less than half.
Okay,
Okay.
and you doubled the overtime,
Yes, we're currently 2 people short as jailers too.
Okay.
So Tony has shifted things around and managing the jail the best he can and building the new one. And we're just gonna have overtime because we can't just shut down.
Well, and you can see that already this year, we're sitting at 143% of our budget on overtime. There's always gonna be overtime because of the holidays, when they work the holidays.
Yep.
But they're working a lot of now 12-hour shifts and that kind of thing. And they do a good job of juggling it, but
And how many jailers did you say you're short?
2.
2,
Short 2.
yes, we're short 2 deputies.
And 2 deputies and 2 jailers?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I believe we're at full staff on
civil
dispatch. Civil stuff, we're good. Yep.
So, but we're running the jail with, Tony, is there 6 or 7? 6, maybe 6, isn't it? 6. And we're sitting with 6 deputies too, and our sheriff. But it's very low to maintain a 24-hour department.
Right.
Okay. Yes, if you'll get us the schedule of jailers in other counties,
Yes.
that'd be good, okay.
Awesome.
I
He
think
says
we've
he's
had,
already got it.
I think we've had that before, but,
Yeah, I think I'd give.
well, and you might get it with what salary, what raises they're getting too.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Okay, it looks like we're doubling the food and provisions, the food for the jail. Not quite doubling, but from, oh no, never mind, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Staying the same.
Okay.
Okay,
What page are you on, Judy? I've lost my spot.
never mind, we'll just go,
Okay.
custodial supplies is up just a little bit, that's not much, okay. Over to page 12. Got- Let's see, looks like everything's pretty much the same there. And speaking of acute emergent medical treatment for the jail, Dr. Garcia came to our meeting last week,
Okay.
state supervisor meeting. She has no intention of doing anything with Medicaid for jail. She's not pursuing anything
Oh, gotcha.
for trying to get the,
So if they come to jail, then Medicaid would pick them up and.
she's not gonna pursue that.
Pursue that.
Nope, not gonna pursue it. Nope, not gonna pursue it.
Well, that could have saved us. a bunch of
Supervisors
money.
were all a little bit upset, so
Right, that could have
anyway.
saved us a bunch of money.
Yep, so anyway. Okay, looks like gas is up a little bit, but that's normal. Okay. Nothing else out of line. Okay, then we get over, okay. We get to the secretary, which is the actually civil. I don't know about that one. That one's a little iffy, I think.
We went out on a limb with it, but
Yeah. That's the 4%, okay. Why does it say 26.97%?
Because I went in making more money than the previous one did.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Let's move on down to, everything else looks about the same. Why did I have that one circled? Okay.
Somehow our FICA, our IVers in this year's budget are not right. So that's why you're seeing different increases on them. And I figured them not in the administration. It's just off. But I did figure FICA and IVers and health insurance and the dental insurance at a full staff. So,
Okay. So when you do get a full staff, then it'll be okay.
and I did figure them with family because you don't.
Yeah, you never know.
You don't know. So just so you know.
That's what we always used to do, so yeah, might as
Yeah, I
well.
heard that. So.
Okay. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to look at the salaries. That's the only thing that we can look at, basically. When I looked at the bottom of this and I saw the 18 million, it's like, ugh. And then I thought, oh, okay, that's the new jail. It's like, where'd the 18 million come from? It's like, wow, okay.
Oh, yeah,
But-
that's including the jail.
Yeah, that's including the jail.
Thank goodness.
Where did the 18 million come? Who keyed in something wrong? 18 million, okay. All right, so, yeah,
gratuities.
yeah. So anyway, okay, we're just gonna have to look at those and see where we're going with them. And
I also would like to ask I know, I'm sorry.
Kimberly, you don't know Kim the way I do.
Okay.
No,
I
probably
just,
Kim worked for me for 13 years, so yeah.
I just want to say though, that when you're looking at these salaries and stuff, you need to keep in mind that they were kind of locked down. They were shut down at a point for 2 or
3 years.
3 years.
I know, there was a long
3
time.
years. So when that happens and then you have to try to bring them back up, our deputies are still, again, and I think that's something that we can show as well, is that our deputies are very underpaid.
I know.
And that, again, is what makes it really hard for us to be able to hire them, and especially experienced ones. So then that increases our costs and having to send new people to the academy. And, law enforcement isn't for everybody. So sometimes we send them to the academy, spend a year or two training only to find out that it's just not their jam. So I ask that, not just to look at the percentages, but to keep that in mind, because do you remember the year that there was a 0 raise, and then
I
after that?
remember several of those.
Yeah, and then when you go to try to bring things back into line.
doesn't work.
And it's very painful. So, also, I don't know if it got put on or not, but the sheriff's department has no off-site backup,
Cloud storage
none.
for any of our computer systems.
Now, Tony did point out to me, and again, he was right, we're not someplace that we all go home at 5 o'clock and it sits empty, and like a fire or electrical thing could fester for, 12 or 18 hours unnoticed.
Right.
So we do have somebody there all the time, but I still think that is a really, in my opinion, just my opinion, it's a very dangerous thing for us not to have something. I don't know whether we could have something through the IT, or whether we need to fund it ourselves, but I do feel like
A backup system.
We
Or
need-
just something to categorize, keep everything
Right.
Yeah.
In case something.
backed up in case something disappears or.
And we've talked about it, and not to the extent that like the courthouse has to have, but that it's at least backed up once a night.
Right.
Somewhere
Yep. Just
offsite.
some download, yep.
So And I just ballparked a thing, a $9,000 estimate on that based off of secondary roads. And then they said it was a 7% a year increase. So I kind of based it off of that. And,
But you didn't put it in here. Is it in
I
here?
thought you did, didn't you?
I didn't,
did you not put my backup?
What we're just looking at.
Is it in here?
I don't know. I didn't, you know what, I didn't look forward to the newspapers, but, and I have to tell you that Tony thinks that we can do it for less than that. So,
Tony's good at finding bargains.
well, and just like he said, you know, we don't need it backed up every 5 minutes, we need it backed up, you know, once a night.
I have worked out a solution with Solutions, and the amount of that backup we'll be able to absorb in our current budget.
Oh, okay,
Well, there you go.
wonderful.
perfect.
And that's why we have Tony.
Yes, exactly why we have Tony. Well, I remember last year when we discussed all this, and, you know, we talked about how the sheriff's office is totally underpaid, the deputies. So it's something we're gonna have to discuss,
Yeah, we just gotta
figure out how.
make sure, I mean, obviously,
I mean, I don't want the county to take and make a bad decision and get them in trouble with the back of
we'd
blue.
love to pay everybody what,
Right.
you know.
I know,
But as
I'd
far as
love
back
to.
of
What
blue,
you think they're worth and what they should be getting paid,
Yeah.
but.
as far as back to blue, I think there's only one person that could really throw a fit, and I'm
I know.
standing here with my
I
hand
know.
out saying, hey,
And I
Yes.
understand that, and I appreciate that.
yes, yes.
But when Charles and I worked on this, this really doesn't even get them to where they really, if that shutdown hadn't have happened,
Yeah.
this
So
doesn't.
how long
get
ago
them.
was, I mean, when were you frozen? Like, that was before I got on, probably. 'cause
yes.
I think you've got raises every year since.
Yes, we have.
Oh, I
but-
can, I've got it back
You
here.
got- you
Now,
got-
something else that we have, if you look at your deputies, the wages and stuff like that, you have deputies scattered all over from 59,000 to $74,000. Well, they're doing the same job, and it all depends on how long they have been there, stuff like that. So
Yeah, based off experience. I
right,
would
so
think,
years ago, it used to be, we would get hired at 60 or 62% of the sheriff's salary. And then every year you would get a 2.5% pay increase plus whatever the Board of Supervisors gave for a cost of living raise, stuff like that. And then we would top out at 80% of what the sheriff was.
Yep.
Well, whatever year that was, they froze us and everybody just scattered from 74 to 60, $59,000. And they're doing the same job basically.
Yeah.
And yes, some guys have more experience, but you know, how are they gonna get caught up to,
Right.
so,
So we didn't take them right to where what we really think they should be at. We tried to kind of do a step.
Yep.
So I just want you to know that we didn't do
Yeah.
it where, yeah.
right,
Yeah, we've talked about so many people are behind
yes,
and where we rank in the state.
Right.
And how do you get them back to at least middle or close to where they
Right.
should be? It's really tough. I mean, it's just, you can't just give it all at once.
Right.
And then if you do a step, a lot of times you're stepping, but the goalpost continues to move.
right,
So it's hard to get caught up. I mean, you can keep that same and not shrink keep the
Right.
same distance from what you're
Exactly.
trying to get to.
and by freezing Mr. Riddle and I's salaries here for
Yep.
2 years, you know, I call it the bump. Let's try and get the bump started and get, start to get the guys back up to a little bit more money to where we can keep good quality.
But then the tricky part of that is then 2 years from now, you say, well, I know, but it might be harder to get
It
you
could-
back,
it could.
like where you guys might be dropping from where you should be.
Right,
And now you're like, hey, I'd like to get back to the middle. Now we're like, okay, how do we get,
right,
so I appreciate the thought of doing what you're
right. Now,
gonna do.
in 2 years, I can say this, I plan on being reasonable. I'm not gonna come in and ask for the world and stuff like
No.
that. I will be reasonable, I'm not gonna do that. We're 50, 80%, whatever, we'll be reasonable.
And also, I want you to know that I don't think, and I haven't looked at this, Todd, so I'm kind of speaking out of turn, but we're not asking for our sheriff's department to be brought to, Page County's about 50, we're about 50. And we're not trying to get everybody to where they're, to
Right.
50. We're trying to be competitive in the market that we have.
Around
in
us, so that-
these counties that surround us, and we're not.
Yep.
We're not competitive. So
Yep.
Brian, you're not saying anything. Do you have anything to say?
He's
Oops,
muted.
I think
He's
you're muted.
He's so
You're
quiet.
muted.
You're there.
There
Yeah,
you
can
go.
you hear me?
go.
Yeah. No wonder you ignored me.
Yeah, we just thought you were so quiet. Did you have anything to add to our conversation?
Not really at this point.
If anyone has any questions, we're obviously all here to answer those questions, and, if you want to see what we're talking about.
Well, we
I
can,
will show you.
let's go on to revenues and see if we got anything there too.
can I just say too, though, on our, I know. You're the chair, you can say no. I just want to point out though, on our reserves, I know that's a little bit of a bump, a little bit more of a bump for them, but I do feel like if we can get our reserves to the 7 or 8 and we can get them on through their training, it could help to reduce the overtime of our deputies that are making a higher hourly. Maybe could cut down on some of the overtime. I don't ever want to say we can cut out all the overtime, because you're never going to cut out all the overtime because of holidays and such. But we could certainly reduce it and make it manageable.
Right.
And I have dreams of someday maybe having some part-time jailers that could help and cut down some of that overtime on our jailers too. But right now, they're just hoping that we can get the staff to run it at full staff, so.
Do you ever have the reserves, like where they decide, hey, we'd like to be a full-time deputy?
We've had that before,
Have them
obviously.
join out of reserves and,
Right, about 20 years ago, that's what I did. I
Yeah.
came from the reserves. Scott Langley had come out, Hafner had come up through the reserves.
Okay.
And I've
Good.
heard some of the reserves we have now mention it, pay's not enough.
Right.
So they have other full-time jobs at places.
sure,
That makes it tough.
Yep.
I would love to take every one of my reserves full-time if that's what they wanted to do,
yep, sure.
because they're trained.
Well, yeah, and you know what you're getting, and they know what they're getting
Bingo.
into.
Yeah.
so-
Bingo.
Yep, sure. Makes sense.
Your 2080 law enforcement.
Yes.
Okay,
05-532.
yep.
Okay, so we are contracting with the city of Essex, and they're wanting approximately 10 to 15 hours per week. We've been right at that point most of the time.
Okay.
They have a issue or a deal that they want to try and do. They own a vehicle, a patrol vehicle, that they would like to sell to the county. It is a 2018 Dodge Durango, I believe. We've looked at it. It needs some things done to it to bring it what I would consider up to par. It's missing part of the cage. I will not put it on the road without the cage in it. Safety is number one thing. I'm not gonna be that person that jeopardize my deputy's safety, period. But they would like us to work off the purchase of the vehicle. So instead of them paying us X number of dollars for law enforcement per month, we would just purchase the vehicle at a set price and take it off of that set price. That way, we're not out money and they're not out money. Now, we've talked about it. We have not sat down and done everything because I'd like to get a rough estimate of what it's gonna cost to put this vehicle back to.
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck.
Kind of old.
It is a little bit old, but the black one we have is a 2019.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean,
And this was 2018?
it's a 2018, it's got
Okay.
55,000 miles on it. The black one was a 2019, and it had 13,000 miles on it. And it's a very nice vehicle.
Okay.
So,
Well, I see we've got 31,000 already. How much more are we anticipating this year?
we have here probably closer to 50,000 with Essex.
So do we maybe want to re-estimate?
Unless we go to this vehicle, if we're going to work off this vehicle,
Okay,
that's why we didn't jump that. But
okay.
that, I think that, they're paying us,
They're $68.24 an hour.
So I want to say that usually what I see monthly is about 2,500 to 4,000.
No, that's 3,600 this month.
Okay, so, and I would say that might be about an average. So it won't take long, depending on what Charles told me that he's hoping to pay for that. It won't take very many months.
It'll take less than a year to pay for that
Yeah.
vehicle.
Okay,
And then we would have the income again, and that's why we kind of left it.
so, okay, so we'll leave it.
Will be
Okay.
about half, and then the year after that, well, depending on how long the agreement goes on.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. All right. So everything else is, you've upped some of them,
Yes.
okay? Okay,
And I know you never want to overestimate your
Right,
revenues,
exactly.
but we want to try to be a little more,
Realistic.
yeah, we'll try to look back through history.
sounds good, okay. There again, we have bonds in here, so, yeah. Okay. Okay, well, guess that's that, okay. Okay, yes.
Is 30,000 one of those funds that just stays, it doesn't ever go away? Like, conservation has that fund that they put money into and it doesn't roll back into the general fund. We didn't know how to do the building, the 30,000, fund 30,000.
I don't think you do anything with it.
The money just stays there from year to year till we get that project done?
The auditor basically does it, the GO bonds, the auditor takes care of,
Okay.
yeah.
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah,
I don't have a good understanding. So,
the auditor usually takes care of the GO bonds and any of that, so. Same way with the local option, the transfers and all of that, so you know that, yeah. So, yeah. I think that takes care of it. We'll work on the salary issues and.
Thank you.
And figure all of that and try to see where we're going with it.
Thank you for at least trying to meet me halfway in the road.
Thank
here.
you. I appreciate, I mean, I think we really appreciate what you and Aaron are trying to do and, you know, with the salaries.
Definitely, that's,
And anyway, I think you're really making a big effort on your part to
about the special investigation.
take care of your deputies, yeah.
I'm trying to do my part
Yeah.
to take care of the deputies because
And the deputies should really appreciate it. So, if we can do anything to expedite it, we'll do our best.
We appreciate your consideration.
We'll do our best.
Yeah. We also have the special investigation fund.
we talked about it last.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we did talk about it. Well, yeah, we just talked about it.
Oh,
We didn't-
I'm so.
We still gotta go through it.
He didn't.
Yeah,
bring
we
it
only
with
talked
me.
about it, we
Okay.
didn't,
Okay.
We just talked about it, we didn't do anything.
yeah.
Well, and what I want to say on it and on on that special investigation fund, we just left it as it was. I'm not sure if that's a fund that, if it rolls back into the general and has to be rebudgeted or not.
It just kind of stays there.
Okay, so, and then there's another one. What was that other
The
one?
special law enforcement and the special
Law
investigation.
enforcement.
Yep.
And did you tell them what that was for?
Which one was that?
I had to inquire. We had to get we might have a consulting bill, because I had to inquire to the old sheriff what that was. And then once he explained it, I'm like, okay.
One's drug money.
No, there's another.
Is it,
Special Law Enforcement Fund.
where is that at?
It's 14.
14, oh, it's back.
And what that's for is if we have an event or a situation that happens that we need to call in outside law enforcement to help us. And the example he gave me was like RAGBRAI, like if we were to have RAGBRAI come through.
Yep.
So we just kind of left it. We'd like to leave it there because you never know. I mean, RAGBRAI is a nice example, but there could be other things that happen.
Is that like anything that you would have to get the state patrol to help or,
State patrol.
or neighboring county come help
Yeah,
or,
exactly,
okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
Exactly.
You know, like if we had some big
So-
protest
Yeah,
or, you know what I'm
okay.
saying? So that's what it is.
Okay.
So it's not a lot, but you kind of want to have something
Right,
there.
yep.
And then the K-9 fund, we left that, there's that $9,937 in there. And we don't have a K-9 right now, but they really are looking at and wanting to get a K-9.
Yes.
We told Charles just to go out and beat the bushes and start asking for donations.
I offered to bring my dog and he said no.
That one isn't even on our list, is it?
I think it is.
It's, we have canine here.
Where is
Should be
it?
separate.
Oh, not 16.
Oh, we just don't have a name on it, K9. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so I can cross it off, okay. Yep, we'll just leave it.
Are you ready for me to leave?
Never. Well, we appreciate you coming in and we appreciate discussing all of these things and
You can say yes to God.
Well, I just thought maybe you wanted to talk about the attorney budget. I was like, maybe it's coming up. So I thought,
No, I got feelings about it. No, I know. It is eye-opening,
Yep.
going to the sheriff's
Yeah,
department. I
I
have
bet.
to tell you, it's been a real eye-opener. So,
Yep.
a good group of people.
yes, they are.
We're very blessed. So,
Charles is a little iffy, but that's all right.
I know.
thank you very much for all being here. We appreciate it and,
Yes, thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very much.
For helping us here.
yep.
Yep.
I'll let you know when I hear back from the state auditor. I'm sure he's, researching it.
Yeah. I don't think you probably heard a sheriff out of the 99 here in the state of Iowa.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm sure not, so, yeah.
I'd rather get the guys something.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. And thank you for all you're doing.
Yes,
I
thank
don't
you.
think it'll be on the next agenda, probably the following week.
They're coming down.
But if you see something on there about easements,
Oh,
we're
okay,
working on securing the utility easements.
okay,
I don't think I'll have it ready for next week's meeting.
Okay.
So I haven't made a requested agenda yet, but if you see it, it's just you as the board chair signing the easements. So
okay.
the utilities.
I've been signing different things, so. Whatever.
You don't have a stamp yet?
No, I've been signing them electronically,
Oh,
so yeah. Yep. Okay. Thanks, guys.
okay.
Thank you, sir. That got done faster than I thought. You might want to read this one first so we can get it off the agenda.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the shading on that. I don't know.
Oh, that's okay.
I gotta figure that out.
It's all right. We'll get it read and get it done. Because this is the one that we want to put on the website.
Website, oh, okay. Yep.
Noisy bunch.
It's Charles.
I got two. Are they the same?
I'm sorry.
I got two. That's okay. You want me to read it twice? Wow. That doesn't look good.
comes up?
The salaries.
Oh,
Does that look good? That we can put it on the website? Todd?
yeah, I think it looks great.
Okay. Brian, did you get the job description?
Yeah, I just haven't got it opened up yet.
Okay. That we can go ahead and put it on the website.
The salary range I have in there covers what I think we're gonna cover in the budget tonight. If there's a change to that, I can amend it.
Okay.
I may do some fiddling with that language just because, if they were to start on May 1st, the salary would be lower unless you wanted to do some kind of special amendment. But it's the kind of thing where you can interview somebody and then set the salary based on their qualifications and experience.
Sure.
Okay, we have our county attorney here to speak next.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Carl Sonksen, Page County Attorney. Not a lot has changed in our budget. In fact, very little other than the salary requests that I've put in there. There are a couple spots on the first page where I've, I guess the second page, it'd be legal and court-related services, attorney fees, reduce that. Deposition and transcripts. That's always kind of a game to try and figure out. So it goes in cycles, it seems. So some years we'll have a lot, some years we won't have hardly any. And then COVID disrupted that entire thing. So really the only big change would be the salary requests for staff. I put a request in for county attorney salary. Of course, it won't be for me, it'll be for whoever would fill that position. And I think Jim gave you a kind of a rundown of what salaries are running now. I just looked at kind of the ones in our district, Page, Cass, and Mills. Similar qualifications. Most of us have been attorneys 15, 20 years. Kind of similar number of years as county attorney. And Mills is $117,000 for a part-time. Cass is $135,000 full-time, and then we're at $107,000. And kind of historically, we've been paid quite a bit less than our population rank. I don't think it doesn't make a lot of sense to me to try and compare what we do as private practice attorneys. We're 50th in the state population-wise, and I think population directly relates to caseload and workload. We're salary ranked at 69th, so we're closer to the bottom than I think we need to be. Cass is 57th population, but their salary is 29th, so they're kind of out of sync in some sense. Mills is 53rd in population, but their salary is 58th. But again, that's just a part-time position. She runs a private practice also. So I've put together a PowerPoint. I think Jim gave you a copy of that. It kind of goes through the positions in the office, what sort of experience and education everyone has. Kind of responsibilities, the number of cases we've had. The criminal prosecutions there on that page, I believe it's page 3, doesn't include traffic. I don't remember the exact number of traffic, but a fair number of those resolve themselves, like speeding tickets and stop sign violations, those sort of things, but some of them go to trial. Next page is responsibility of Kim and Steph in our office. The office runs smoothly because of them. Without them, we'd be lost. And that leads to the concern on the next page is the pay disparity. And I know I'm thankful the board brought their salaries up the last time. It's been a couple of years ago, I think. I guess I hadn't really noticed that how big a gap there was between what they make and what folks on the first floor make. So Kim's at 56 and Steph's at just a little over 50. And you can see a comparison to deputies in the auditor, treasurer, recorder's office. We just want to get them up to that level. Seems like a fundamental fairness issue to me.
Do you know how many years they've worked
It's
for
on,
you?
Stephanie has been legal secretary for 13 years. She'll be 7 years, I think, in November with the county.
Okay.
And then Kim has been her entire
30 plus years.
career.
30 plus one.
30 plus years at the county attorney's office.
Okay.
So that kind of sums up the PowerPoint. If you go to the next page, it's entitled Pay Disparity. It just kind of compares average salary of what our staff earns, how much less than auditor, treasurer, recorder's office staff, and dispatchers. Those are 2023 numbers for dispatchers. And the next page is pay disparity to the AG's office, average paralegal secretary salary, and Lynn County Attorney's Office, which is kind of a bigger Eastern County. Gives you an idea of what some of the bigger offices are paying, which is, you know, not what we expect, but quite a bit more. And the last page is kind of a summary of what we're asking for as an increase for both Kim and Steph. Kim is a 10% raise and Steph would be 15% to get her up to somewhere close. So that's a proposal. Now that in the budget, those two are lumped together in one line item, so that's why it shows as I believe a 12.22% increase.
Yeah, it doesn't quite come out when I get 119.8 when I add the two together, so it doesn't quite.
And I don't think, and this is the printed version for the auditor's office, I think my paper calculation was slightly different than that.
Okay. Because when I add the 61.7 and the 58.1,
It could have been rounding errors on my part.
yeah, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, yeah, whatever, we'll work with it. I'm blown away by the Nels County at 117,000 for a part-time,
Yeah,
and
I
Cass County for 135.5 for a part-time. It's just like,
I received a kind of a
Wow.
summary from Peter, who's Fremont County Attorney, and it showed, it lumped the two salaries together. So my salary and Jim's salary was 100,000 less than Deshawn and her assistant's salary. So they were a full 100,000 more just for these two salaries.
I think what we're running into as county attorneys change now, I think rural counties in the state are having a very difficult time.
so they're having to raise.
A lot of it, I think, boils down to, very few people move to a smaller town than they grew up in.
Right.
And in the past, we had a fairly robust legal practice within these rural counties. And now the average age of an attorney in this county is probably over 70. So in order to encourage a younger attorney to move out of what is probably a city with his family and move to a rural area, I think is very tough. So what's happening is these counties are losing their longtime county attorney, and then they're having to pay quite a lot to get somebody to work there. I know that's kind of what happened in Adams County, which I guess we don't have.
No, it's not on here, yeah.
I think Adams is like 5,000 in population. I tried
It's the
to,
smallest in the state. Yeah.
and on this, I basically tried to get comparable counties between 10 and 20,000, but they're paying $120,000 for a part-time county attorney.
Wow.
Because, and I talked to him, and it's because there's nobody that really wants to work there.
That's
In fact,
crazy.
he's a part-time, he's currently doing, on a 90-day contract, similar to what I provided you in my packet, he's working as a contract attorney in Taylor County too, because they haven't found a full-time county attorney to work there. So I think that's what's accounting for the pay disparity. The other thing is, younger attorneys coming out of law school have large student loan debt. If you're living in a city and your spouse is employed, they have a hard time replicating that income in a smaller community. And frankly, being a county attorney is hard work. I mean, you get called at night, on the weekends, you have a large docket, dealing with a lot of unpleasant cases, and a lot of people would prefer to do civil cases or private practice.
I'm just
Do
blown away.
do you think that, so I guess my thought is, how long have we not had a part-time,
County attorney.
county attorney? So,
I took over in 2015 when Jeremy Peterson was full-time. He went to be an administrative law judge in Des Moines. Prior to that, I think it was 2012-ish, maybe.
okay,
He became county attorney in 2009 when Dick Davidson became a judge.
okay.
And at some point, he went from part-time to full-time.
Yeah,
And then my other question would be then, on the assistant, so would there be a way to say, okay, we're not gonna have an assistant taking that salary to help increase the other three, with your staff and the attorney?
The way the assistant, and correct me if I'm wrong here,
I know.
but assistants can get paid up to 80% of what the county attorney gets paid.
Okay.
So the thing is, you could always take money away from the assistant, but if you lower the county attorney's salary, it sets a ceiling for how much you can pay your assistant.
Right,
So what
okay.
I'm saying is, like, with the salary we have budgeted, which is a pretty substantial step up,
Yep.
that also means, A, you can try to hire a higher quality county attorney. It also means the county attorney can try to get a higher quality assistant. Now, Carl hired me,
Yep.
but I'm odd in the sense that I retired from the military and moved back here. I like doing criminal law, so not to brag or anything, but on active duty, I was making about $150,000 a year, and when I started here, I was making about 64.
Yep.
I'm assuming I become the interim county attorney, or whoever the next county attorney is, very unlikely to hire an attorney with 20 years of experience to be their part-time assistant.
Yeah.
So whoever takes over next is probably gonna hire somebody probably well below.
I'm just wondering, do we need an assistant?
yes,
That's what I was wondering.
yes.
I was.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to
We've
get
had
at.
an
Can we-
assistant for
can
a
we-
long
Can we
time.
not have an assistant and then pay more for the county attorney and the staff?
And I thought of that. The thing is,
But-
the thing that an assistant buys you is, we have court every Monday, we have magistrate court every other, well, pretty much every Friday, and we have juvenile court every Thursday.
Oh.
And if somebody is sick or going to training or out of town, you really need the extra coverage.
Okay.
The other thing I think that Page County needs to look forward to is, we don't want another situation where you have two 60-some-year-old county attorney and assistant. What would be ideal is if you hire somebody with experience that hires a much younger assistant,
Yep.
so that
You can
the
kind of
natural
grow,
transition would be to
sure,
step up.
sure.
Kind of to add to that, when I took over when Jeremy left, it was kind of a bad situation for me because it was like 5 or 6 months on my own until serendipity happened and I happened to hire Jim. Because we could have never hired someone with his experience and, for what we pay. And so that 4 or 5 months of without an assistant was somewhat hellish.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of evenings and weekends and I've kind of broached the subject with Peter Johnson in Fremont about potentially sharing an assistant, and he liked the idea, but he had no space for one and no budget for one, so it really didn't pan out.
Okay.
We've had an assistant for years, years and years and years. I can't
Actually, we have fewer now. When I was hired on, of course, Davidson was part-time, and we had a full-time assistant and a part-time assistant, so I was hired on as a part-time assistant.
Wow.
So, you know, he's running a private practice plus the county.
And then you didn't want to be the attorney, so Jeremy became.
Yeah, I wanted to do more private practice
Yeah.
at the time, and so
Then Jeremy became the attorney and you were the
Right.
assistant, and then, yeah,
And so we reduced it by one right there. And we also used to have an additional paralegal, so we've cut about
Right.
2 staff out of the process.
And I think that's
it
another
works
problem
well.
with these smaller counties. In the old days, you used to have a law firm that would have maybe two part-time,
Yeah.
part-time county attorney and part-time assistant. But, you know, in Page County, we really don't have those kinds of firms anymore that
we're really lacking in attorneys now.
yeah, it's getting to the point where even the civil
Yeah.
people are having a hard time. I haven't seen Bree Sorensen or
Yeah.
Trevor Shan who does civil work, but aside from Bree, I really haven't seen
And her dad.
an attorney under the age of 60 that's come into this county in the 10 years I've been here.
Yeah. Full-time anyway, yeah. Any comments, Brian?
Tough situation there.
Yep. Yep. I'm still blown away by the part-time people that are making so much.
Yeah, actually, I've never really looked at it that hard. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Well, I think we're gonna have to bite the bullet on this one.
Do you have, I saw some, I haven't followed it real closely, but I saw that the state was looking into county attorneys' fees or salaries or something.
I think they're looking at the fees.
Are they looking, is that what they're just looking at?
Is that
or-
legislation pending?
Yeah.
I think part of it, but then they were looking at, what were they looking at?
And I haven't followed it. I just saw I saw that they were.
Then they
doing
were looking
something.
at the salaries too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is what you're talking about, but I went to, Carl goes to the June Iowa Attorney Conference, I went to the November one, and at that November one, they were talking about legislation that would essentially set a floor for county attorneys' salaries, which would be like 80% of what
The judge.
associate judge makes. I don't know the exact
Yeah.
legislation, but, you know, again.
And an unfunded mandate.
Well, and
Yeah.
getting aside from that, you know, talking to these other county attorneys, particularly even from larger counties, they're having a heck of a time hiring assistants, even at $100,000 a year, because A, people are coming out of law school kind of pre-programmed to believe that prosecutors are evil, and they just prosecute innocent people for the Project Innocence and things, and so they're predisposed not to want to do prosecution work. And the other thing is, it's high volume, difficult work, difficult emotionally. You're dealing with child sex victims, adult rape victims, people that are, you know, in drug abuse situations, domestic violence. People either do it for a while and get out, or they don't want to do it at all.
Well, comments, Tom?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, it just goes back to, you know, what are we gonna be able to afford to do? And obviously, like I said, it's one of those things you like to pay and get everybody up to where they need to be on a scale. And, you know, if we find ways to do it, then, you know, I know we were tight last year with the budget, and this year's probably not gonna be any different, maybe worse. But, so, I mean, I don't have any I don't think anything that you've said is unreasonable, but it's just,
Right.
you know,
And
it's tough, like Brian said, it's a tough situation.
I think so, in order to
it-
hire
it
somebody
is,
though, I
but-
think we're
Yeah,
gonna
cause
have
what,
to.
we've had that posted and we've had one
Yeah. It's,
For the assistant, yeah.
for the assistant, and
But we're gonna have to
this is
post this
I
one.
think since end of October, early November.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've had one.
And they have been out of law school less than 2 years, and I don't think they've done a jury trial. So that's what I'm saying, which, it's not
Right.
surprising, that's
Yeah.
what I would expect.
Yeah.
But that means the next county attorney is gonna probably have to spend at least a year with them to get them to the point where they can be running and doing a case, a felony case from start to finish.
And is something like that not ideal to have somebody that young? I mean, you talked about having somebody young come in and be able to build them and into, is that, you'd want something a little bit
I
more,
prefer to have someone that was
Have-
older and more experienced.
more experience, but,
But that, I mean, that's unrealistic.
right,
And that would be very unusual. So that's actually a pretty good situation if it's the right person.
right. I was gonna think, because if you came in with less experience and your salary maybe could grow with them as they gained experience and got more under their belt.
Absolutely. I think that 94,000 we have for an assistant, that wouldn't be the minimum we would pay anyone coming in here. I think it would be based on their qualifications and
Yep.
experience like anyone else.
Sure.
And likewise, I think you as the board of supervisors, whoever you appoint to the county attorney position, you know, you can look at their qualifications and experience too and enter into a salary negotiation with them based on how experienced.
Right.
Because, you know, you look at my list here, we have some county attorneys that have been an attorney less than, let's see here, some of them have been an attorney for less than 8 years.
Yeah.
And they get less, well, I have one in Guthrie County, that person's only been an attorney 2 years. And of course, they're still making more than we were paying our county attorney. They're making $111,000, $112,000 a year. They've been out of law school less than 2 years.
How big is
And they're making more than Carl.
Yeah, and Guthrie is 10,623, which is
Two-thirds of
$5,000.
Yeah.
You know, and like, and I just like to, I watched the last county attorney meeting. I was in Texas when I went on, and I don't mean to be a jerk about this, but one of my requirements to come in as the interim is for us to work out a budget that that compensates our secretaries, which I think is very important for our
Right.
office, because frankly, they do yeoman's work, and we're operating on one attorney, and like Stephanie and Kim turn out, they're the ones that read through all the criminal complaints, they gather all the statements, Stephanie drafts probably 90% of the trial information, the charging documents, and she's very, very good at it. And it requires, it's not a simple typing thing, you have to think through it, what are the charges, how should I lay this out, and we have to do very little editing with it, which makes our lives a lot easier. She's at the beginning of her career, Kim's toward the end of her career. What I want to make sure we can do is grow that competence up so that when Kim decides she wants to retire, we have somebody ready to step up to take both
Sure.
jobs for a while we hire someone else and train them. If we lost our county attorney, our assistant, and one of our secretaries, it would be a train wreck.
Yeah.
For a considerable period of time. So, and the other thing is, and we're not talking and making any decisions tonight, but
Right.
what I would hope is next Tuesday, you know, before I agree to be your interim, I want to make sure we have something worked out on this budget that A, compensates the employees we have adequately, and B, gives us some chance of getting qualified people to apply for the county attorney position. And I don't want to be the interim forever. I want to, and what I would like to do is have a timeline where we advertise this job, close it in like March 14th. We have a couple of weeks to do interviews, and then you guys make a decision. And then what I haven't closed in there is a 45-day employment, which would take us to March 30th. If we find somebody and they can't start for 30 or 60 days or whatever, we can talk about extending me out. But I'm retired, I'm not going anywhere, so if you need me, I can be here.
Okay.
But I don't want to be in a situation where I'm down a man, I have unhappy employees,
Yep.
and I'm, you know.
No, that's no good. That's no fun. That's no fun to come back to. No.
And I think he wants to eventually remain retired.
Yeah, well, I don't blame him.
Right.
Yeah, I think that was,
So this one, I think, is going to take a fairly fast decision on this one, and we also need to can we go ahead and put the 45-day employment thing on next Tuesday's
Please do.
agenda?
If you guys are willing to work on the budget as we planned,
Yeah,
if you can give me a head nod, then we will do that.
yep, I think so.
I will certainly agree to come back.
Okay. we'll certainly work on it, Jim.
I love the work, and I
Well,
love the people.
yeah.
But
Well, and I think it's nice that, I mean, obviously you've got the experience, you've been here, you know, we're not gonna have to worry about somebody coming in interim and
Is that agreeable, Brian, that we'll work on this
Yes,
budget to get it up?
very quickly, very
Okay,
quickly.
okay, so we'll put that on the agenda for next Tuesday, Cindy. Or Kristen, yep.
Budget be approved.
It has to be done by March 5th?
Well,
Or
yeah,
is that when
we've
it
got
has to be turned in by March?
well, we've got to get it
But
going, but we've
we're-
got to get
yeah.
all the details,
And I'm
yeah.
hoping next week we can iron out all the details.
We've got to,
We're a little bit
iron out the salary issue.
Yeah.
So we can get everybody's budget done, and then we've got to see where we are, and then we'll move forward, yeah.
Great.
But the salary issues have to be ironed out before we can come to even see where the budget's gonna be, so, yeah. So, anyway, so we'll get this on the agenda for next Tuesday, and, move forward with that, and hopefully we'll come to,
If anybody has any questions about what I provided you, you got my email, you got my phone
Yeah.
number, I think, so.
should we wait to put this on until we're sure of this, or can we go ahead and put it
I'm
on?
sure with it, unless you guys have any second thoughts.
Is it
about
okay to go ahead and put it on there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I thought it was all right, and
Okay.
then, it wouldn't go in anyway till next Wednesday or Thursday, right? Or you're,
I mean,
are
we can
you
go
gonna
ahead,
put
we
it
can
on the
go ahead and put it
website?
on the website.
Oh, yeah, we can put it on the website, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead and put it on the website then,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, the important thing is we have somebody appointed by next Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that is next week, isn't it?
It
Oh,
is.
Carl,
And-
this is not
And that's your
good.
last week, next week?
Wednesday.
Thursday? Oh, Wednesday,
And
okay.
I'm gainfully unemployed for one day.
Oh.
And then I start the AG's office Friday.
Oh, my gosh,
Yeah. It's a quick turnaround,
Yeah.
wow,
so,
it's come fast.
yeah, it has. It has.
So is Lindsay gonna keep working in,
She's Taylor County Auditor's Office, yeah,
yeah,
she's still
she's
gonna
gonna
be
keep
there.
working over there for a while?
And I'll be commuting 1 or 2 days a week,
Okay,
so,
okay,
and then probably work from a home office the other 3. That's kind of the plan.
Nice.
okay. So you can run kids back and forth,
Yeah. It's-
okay,
My
Okay.
F-150's turned into, a kid shuttle and a garbage barge.
okay.
I know.
Yeah, there you go, get a minivan, they're nice. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys, thanks.
Okay, we got the auditor up next.
So we went with the 4%
Want
increase,
to talk better, okay,
4%,
That's what you
4%
put.
increase
okay.
for wages. Same with all the benefits and stuff.
Do you have one 80% and one 74%?
We have a 76 and a 78.
Okay, a 76, oh,
And a 78, is that what you
a
said?
76 and a 78, okay.
Yeah.
And that, okay, so that's the percentage of your deputies to the.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right, so then we go down to. Okay. Okay, so you took telephone up a little bit.
Telephone up a little bit,
Meals lodging down a little bit.
yeah.
Maintenance, equipment
So-
repairs. Okay, go ahead.
One thing we're thinking of is we get Paper Tiger for our shredding
Uh-huh.
for our office, and we've talked to the recorder and the treasurer, and obviously the other offices, to maybe just do one big one instead, because we all get separate, and Angie gets charged different because we have the bin, and I don't know, it's just something we were thinking about, doing it out of 99 instead.
That sounds like a good idea. And just share it.
Because the postage machine, that's the same way we do that.
Okay,
We do it out of 99
Makes-
and we all share
Yeah, it
it.
makes sense.
that makes sense.
Yep.
So, That was
Okay.
just something that I wanted to bring up,
Sounds like a good idea.
but we can talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
No, there's something I noticed. Dues and memberships, you need to put $500 in there.
oh, okay.
That's a must. Because you got to be a member of ISACs.
Oh, is that what that is?
ISACA.
Okay,
That's the only thing I noticed. So the maintenance, equipment, and repair, is that where Paper Tiger is?
yes,
So,
that's the 300.
okay.
And so you would move all of 300, or what is the shredding piece of that,
Well, we
I
would have
guess,
to
or-
pay more because it would be for everybody.
But if you
Oh.
take
So
it
we
out,
would-
if you take it out of 99 though?
We could take it out of 99.
Yeah, if you
It's-
moved, would you move all 300 then to 99?
Yeah, it would,
Out
I
of,
mean,
or out of 99?
yeah, we wouldn't need that anymore.
Okay.
Okay, so, okay. But I think you probably need something in there in
I didn't,
case
yeah, in case, do you have like, yeah, like computers or
you got
something?
calculators. and-
Yeah,
So I think I would leave the 300 in there.
printers,
Keep the
things,
300 in.
I would leave it in there.
probably,
Okay.
yeah.
So if you need a new printer, does that come out of Corey's budget or does that come out of yours? If they get a new printer, does that come out of their budget? Every office, that comes out of theirs? So they probably don't need a new printer though.
We got a new printer this year.
Okay,
Or
okay,
was it this year? Yeah.
okay, okay. So that's probably okay then, okay.
So, yeah, so what is that out of this general basic fund? For office equipment, furniture and equipment?
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
all general,
this
theirs
is
is all
general
out of
basic.
general basic.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's where the,
yeah.
okay.
So then we can go to elections, which is number 10.
So our election deputy is at 80%.
Okay,
And that's the number that they were using in the attorney's office.
and what?
That's the number they used in the attorney's office for comparable.
Oh, okay, okay, I wondered.
Oh, yeah.
So that's all pretty much the same.
And this is the year for city and school elections.
So we put more in the publications.
Okay. Because you'll have ballots to publish. And you put more in the printing of the ballots, because that'll be more. I don't know that, okay. I'm not sure that you'll need that much, but you might. It doesn't look like you've needed that much in prior years, but
Yeah, is that kind of high?
it might be kind of high.
12,000?
Are you talking about the 65?
No, the
Or
12,000.
12,000 under the elections, or the, yeah, printing of
12,000 for
ballots.
the printing of ballots.
And we didn't spend any last year?
Not so far this year. Well, we will.
Oh, it is this year. Okay, yeah, 24, 25. I was thinking of last November, but,
Let's see, this year is,
Yeah. We're gonna have to look at that. I don't know why.
I'm trying to think what,
12,000 is in.
this is what? This is 24, 25, this is.
25.
Okay.
But this is. Yeah, but 25. This will be city and school.
Yeah, it shouldn't be 12.
I don't think it should be 12. How much are ballots anymore? They're not that much, are they? It doesn't look prior years like we spent that much.
It was about 3,000 for this special that we just did.
Okay. That might be kind of high.
I think it's kind of high.
Yeah.
so I wonder if you just went down to 5, would that be enough?
I think so.
or not?
I'd try that. Okay.
So we are going to have more trainings
Okay.
this year. We need to all go to seat training, and we have a new voter registration with iVoters.
Okay.
So the trainings are in Denison, Fort Dodge. So it's going to have to be a overnight.
Denison would be easier, yeah. Well, even at Denison, you usually spent the night.
So that's why we put more into the meals and the lodging.
Okay. I'm not sure that 6,000 though. Maybe not that much.
Is that for all of the auditors or just the auditor?
No, that would be for the office.
For the whole office would go to those trainings? Okay, so there'd be 3, maybe? Okay.
Do you want to lower that? Is that what you're thinking?
I'd probably take it down to maybe 4 at the most. I think that would cover it.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what the next one is either. Maintenance, equipment, and repairs, office and data processing.
Okay, so that one that's the ballots for the general election.
Okay.
Oh, no, that's the 15.
And we're not gonna have a general.
Was it 15? Notices, and we had fees.
I used,
Copy of what we spent on that 15,000.
I used to leave the budget pretty much the same year to year, so we didn't have to fluctuate, but.
And why it was 15
Well,
was?
as we were going through this, we've noticed that there's been some taken out of wrong account numbers. Some of the bills.
Why would election bond notices been put in there?
Exactly.
Election bond notices? That shouldn't have been put in there.
Where does that usually go?
Oh, if it was for the bond notices. Wait a minute, election bond notices. I would pull that bill and look at it. Professional office services. I would pull that one. Henry Atkins is definitely elections, but professional office services, I would look at it.
That is that mailing company
See, we
that
have-
does the House File 718. I know that's a
Oh.
company, but I don't know what it was for. till
But
we actually look at it.
103124,
Might-
it might have been school bond.
Was it the postcard?
It could have been.
That had to be sent
It could have
out
been.
before the election?
It could have been.
We'll have to pull the image.
Okay, what did they have to send them out for?
Did
Were they
do that
required to send them out for the school bond?
For the school bond.
Did the auditor's office have to send those out?
We sent, we paid somebody to do it.
But was the auditor's office required to send them out?
Yep.
Okay, then that's what it is. So that's okay.
And do you want it in that line?
Well,
That's what I was questioning. Or should it be under the one that's
The legal
public,
notice.
legal notices?
I'd say it would go under legal notices.
That's what I
So I
thought.
just changed the line item.
And that's why, that's why
Yeah.
we bumped that one up.
Yeah, I change it. Do we have a legal, do we even have
Page
that?
one.
Under official publication
Official
and legal
publications and
notices.
Legal notices, yeah.
Yep. Put it in there. So that was another new thing that the state put on us. Okay. I didn't realize that. Another unfunded mandate.
And then the cards that had to go out for the Iowa Western,
That's what this
that
was.
was, yeah. but
That's what this was.
In the school.
Yep, that's what that one was. That should have been billed back to Iowa Western.
We'll have to look.
I would think that those would have been billed back to them.
Did the school
But I
get
know
billed
that
back?
different
too?
counties were having trouble with getting Iowa Western to pay.
They what?
Iowa Western is not wanting to pay for it.
I
don't
think
know
we
if
ought to
it's
try.
We need to, yeah.
What'd you say?
I was in the school too, do they get billed back?
The
when they
schools
do
and the
a-
cities get billed back.
Billed back, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think Iowa Western would.
Yeah, I think they ought to be billed back for this. If this was the Iowa Western one, then that should be billed back to them. Do our best to do it. Yep. But in the meantime, take it out of the official publication and legal notices. So just switch it back to that one. Yep. Yeah, but the Henry Atkins are definitely printer stuff. Okay. Okay. So what else do we need to do?
So we have the election officials about the same, but we would
Yeah.
like to increase, we pay them $9 and $10, depending on if they're the chair, they get $10 an hour.
Okay.
For a long day, and they've all asked, I mean, a lot of them.
I think
have
it's time to increase their pay. What's the minimum wage anymore?
$7.65?
Oh, for the poll
And that's not
workers.
working 12-hour days.
Yeah. I mean, we were thinking $2 an hour more,
What do they get now?
$9 an hour, and then the chairperson gets $10 an hour.
And that's working 7 to 8.
7, 8, well, yeah, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Well,
but
actually,
it's
6 to 8.
a.m. to whenever we get it closed, it could be 8:30
Yeah,
at
so it
night.
could be 6 to 9, basically 6 to 9.
And, let's see,
And they
where's,
don't leave, they bring
They
their
don't
food,
leave, nope, they can't leave.
so,
and that's
So that's
the,
15 hours, Todd.
under the election officials?
Yeah,
Is that- okay,
and that's
so
for
the
us,
7
that's for us to set theirs, and we could actually do that. What do you think, Brian?
today this year we spent 10,000, and we had quite a few elections, so we think if we keep it at 10,000 and give them an increase, it should,
You have a hard time getting election people?
Yeah, we do.
what's that?
Have a hard time getting election people, yes. They work 15-hour days.
Well, they do a lot too, I mean, they go to the nursing homes, they.
Yeah, we have them go to nursing homes, they work absentee boards. They come to training for an hour at least. They don't get a lunch hour, so they're there for 15 hours steady. So,
So you had 10,000 last year, and
We
you're,
spent 10,000 last year.
Well, yeah,
We had
but-
more
but we
elections
had
last
more
year.
elections.
we budgeted last year 10,000?
Yeah,
yeah,
Okay, and you're asking for 10,000?
well, see, we only spent 10,000 this year, or last year.
Oh, I got you,
And so,
yep.
and we
And this year you won't have as many
won't
elections,
have as
right?
many elections
Yeah.
this year, that's why we didn't up the amount, but we would
Oh.
like to pay,
You could use that money to pay them more.
Correct.
I got you, yep.
so we're paying 9 and 10.
In 2023, 24, so we had, I guess we spent $200 and we had 10,000 budgeted.
See,
Where
I
does the
never,
rest of that go?
it goes back in
It
the
goes back to
general.
the general fund.
I never used to change, I didn't used to make it fluctuate.
okay?
I used to leave the budget the same, because otherwise you're up and down every year. With everything, so. It just depends on how many elections, and you can't have as many special elections as you used to have. So we used to be able to have elections every month if they wanted to. What do you think, Brian? Give them $1?
I think we could just put $2 an hour, each one of them, and
Okay, what do you
that
think,
gives them an
Todd?
extra $30. And
Okay,
Sure.
let's go ahead and raise them $2 an hour.
Okay.
Why don't we have
What line is that in?
it's,
Is that still under this?
48210.
Okay, so that's 10,000, so,
But if you think 10,000's enough, then I would just leave that
Should-
budget at
should
10,000.
cover, leave that budgeted amount?
It
I
should
think
cover
should
next
cover
year,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We'll just vote on this when we do the whole budget, so.
Okay.
While we're on that, what's the difference between that and the local elections, the very last one?
The local elections are city and school elections. Do we separate them anymore? And then the federal elections are when we have Senate and President and all of those.
Yeah, okay.
So we don't need to vote on that, we probably do need to vote on
I
that.
would think so.
You want to put that on the agenda next week? We'll just go ahead and do that. So we'll have okay, elections are done. Okay,
Do you want that to start July 1?
sure.
So going to where it says local election officials or election officials, is that the same group of people?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
it will be.
What do they get? They get paid out of the 48210, or do they get paid out of this 7,000? Or does it matters if it's a local?
It matters
pay?
which election they are,
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
But it'll be the same for whichever,
okay.
yeah. So. I guess I'd forgotten we were going to another page, so, okay. All right.
Did you want to
Take
talk
care, huh?
on page 2, the last one?
The last one, election official.
Last time was budgeted 12,000 and we didn't use any.
Which one are we talking about now?
We're talking about the,
638.
63810 525.
Oh, you're talking about voting equipment, voter registration, other equipment.
Oh, down here.
Is this voter registration? Who do we pay for voter registration anymore?
This is IPAC.
Okay,
And Cindy just gave me this. It looks like we're going to be paying 4,500 plus 4 cents a voter.
is this through ISAC
So,
or
yeah.
the state? Okay,
So
it's gonna
that
take more than-
4,000 is not going to work.
that's not gonna work, no.
Should we just put it back up to the 12 that we had before?
Do you think it's gonna need that much?
Oh, the estimated is about 5,000.
Okay, I'd probably take it to 5,000 then. I think you've got enough in there to cover whatever, but
Okay.
I'd put it back at 5,000. So. I think the rest of it looks good. I don't think you need to fluctuate too much.
And then on the revenue Cindy and
Okay.
I were talking about this today.
Yeah, that needs to come, I don't know where the 26,000 came from, but,
Well, it was from the 23, 24, and then those, there was 4,000 in one and 21 in the other. And we put it all in one, but we talked about it today that it shouldn't be, it needs to be separated,
and do what?
right?
Where did the 26,000 come from?
So do you see in your 23, 24, the budget was
Where you had 16,000 and or 6,000 and 13,000?
6,013.
Yeah.
So that's 19,000,
Oh, I see what you did.
and then
But
you,
what we received was 4,000 and
Oh.
21,000.
I gotcha.
And we were putting it into one line. But I think it needs to be into two lines.
Well, because your school's one line and your city's the other
That's
line,
what I
so you
was
need to
saying.
have them separate. But I don't understand why the school is that high. Because you had bond elections, but you're not gonna have that many.
Right.
No, so it shouldn't
So
be
do
that
you want me
high.
to put it back to 6 and 13 like we had in
Um,
23, 24?
I don't know that I'd put 13.
Would you put 6?
I'd probably put 6. I don't even, yeah,
Do 6 and 6?
I'd probably do 6 and 6.
Okay, that works.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Is that good? Ready to move on to drainage? We're not doing lost, we're not gonna do county bonds. We'll go on to 72 drainage. And I think, didn't we have a meeting with Johnson Run and say we weren't gonna levy, so we're just gonna leave it at the 8,000? Didn't we have a meeting with Johnson Run?
We did.
Okay.
Talk to him. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we didn't, we said we weren't levying.
Yeah, so we'll just leave that where it is.
Yeah.
Okay, and 94, safety. We've got 3,000 in there and we can just leave that. I don't know that we need that in there though. Why do we need, does anybody ever go to any meetings?
Cindy talked to Pete, and he, here, I'll let you.
So he said with our liability and property insurance that they were wanting us to look at having a safety committee.
Right.
And he's got a template, and so he would be helping to get a safety committee set up.
Okay.
So there may be some cost, and
Okay.
we don't know what that would be, but that would probably be enough.
I don't think we need to have any, I think we could move that 3,000 maybe up to stationery and forms, to the supplies, rather than meals, lodging, and registration. Let's do that.
But do you need to keep some for training?
I think that'll take care of it right there. If we move it up to supplies rather
Oh,
than,
it will fit under that?
well, I guess we could leave it under training. That's good, Todd. Let's leave it there, never mind. I was looking at the meals, lodging instead of the training. Let's leave it where it is, it's okay. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I did talk to Pete too, so that's fine. Because he wants to go ahead and maintain where we are. So, yeah, just leave that. Okay. And then let's go to Shenandoah Building, 98. You ready for that one?
Yep.
Okay.
So basically, everything's about the same.
Okay.
Except for when you look at the lawn care snow removal. That one is, we're paying for the cleaning out of that,
Okay.
and Shenandoah sanitation and mowing, all three. That's why it is more.
Okay, do you want to add a new line?
That's what I think.
I think so too. or add 2 lines, add 1 for sanitation, add 1 for
Mowing,
mowing.
or this one is mowing.
That says mowing.
1 for cleaning.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, yeah, so you got.
Split them out. Yeah, go ahead and split them out. And then I think we need to add a line maybe for gravel. Do we need to add
Would
one
that,
for,
yeah, so I was wondering if that would go under maintenance of building services or no?
I guess I think of maintenance as the building.
Okay.
So maybe we need to add a line for,
So out of building, we paid
Like-
for the paint, downspouts, furnace.
yeah, I'd say
Okay.
that's maintenance,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So maybe if we add a line for exterior
Or could you put it under their general services or general basic?
well, I
Next-
think if we put something in for
But
like
maybe, I
like a
don't,
driveway, or can we put something in for driveway? You can look for something like that. And then add, how much do you think?
oh gosh, what was it?
Like 4,000 or 5,000?
Probably, because, I mean, it's not a big lot, but
Yeah. And then the next thing's finding somebody to do it.
yeah.
Does Lindsay do that?
Yeah, Lindsay does, and,
I suppose,
or can the county do it and take it and go?
I don't know, I guess we could ask.
Dump a load,
We could ask them and pay them for it.
yeah.
Why don't you add 5,000?
5?
Yeah.
And would you say you want to call that, like,
I don't know, they'll find something, they'll find a line item
Yeah.
okay.
and just put in 5,000 and it'll make it gravel. Okay. Okay. So that one's taken care of.
Did we, of course, it hasn't rained or anything for a long time, but the roof and everything, I don't think.
I think it's all taken care of.
Yeah, because I haven't had any complaints, but
Uh-uh.
like I said, it hasn't rained hard
No.
for a while, so.
But I think the last
I-
time it did, everything was
Oh.
was okay. I
Okay.
haven't heard anything from them.
Okay.
So, okay.
Yep.
I think that's everything for tonight.
And then on the revenue side, it's just the rent we get from Zion
Yeah,
and the reimbursements for the utilities.
yep. And that's consistent, so that's good. Okay. Okay. I think we're good for tonight. What do we got tomorrow night? Let's see.
Conservation?
Conservation and secondary road, I
Are you gonna
believe.
move Lost to, or are we gonna have to do that?
I think we
differently?
need to think more on that probably
Okay.
for next week maybe. So tomorrow night we have
What-
secondary road, weed eradication, conservation, and supervisor budget and IT.
Okay. And then,
Piece of cake.
and then next week, what are you thinking? As far as next week?
Tuesday morning, we've got regular business meeting, we've got canvas,
Yep,
swearing in, and whatever we've got on the agenda. And we've got sheriff on the agenda, I know, for grant thing,
oh yeah, for the grants, for
for
the,
grants, we've got, okay, we've got,
is there any jail stuff next week?
Tony said there might be something for me to sign.
And then Jim's agreement.
Oh yeah, the attorney,
If Jim's thing.
yeah.
What else did we say tonight?
And we're gonna do the election worker increase.
The election increase. Yep, okay.
Do we need to
We need
meet
at
and
some,
talk before Tuesday
About-
on the attorney stuff? Or are we pretty, I mean, we're good with all that,
are we good
right?
with hiring Jim
For what he's asking?
for the current
Yeah.
county attorney's salary?
You're
We're in
good?
agreement with that? Okay.
Okay, all right, we don't
Yep,
need to, all right,
okay.
good, thanks.
And then we need to talk at some point about what we're gonna do with raises. Whether it be tomorrow night, you're gonna be back, maybe.
I'll be back, but it'll be a little bit late because I get out at 2:30, so it'd be 4:30.
Okay, okay. So maybe we can talk.
Well, does it have to be on an agenda because we won't be able to vote on anything?
No, but we can maybe talk. I mean, because we won't vote until we finish the budget anyway, so.
Okay,
Maybe we can talk then
okay.
and kind of come to some kind of an agreement. So be thinking, I guess, about where we want to go and how, and talk about some of these other issues. And then we'll see what we want to do for next week's meetings as far as finishing up some of the things.
And then we did that, we found that cash run.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask.
Oh, the cash rent, yeah, we need to work on that.
Okay.
Which one?
On the cash rent agreement, we need to talk about that.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you email Brian or give it to Connie on the cash rent stuff?
I emailed it to
You emailed it to him, oh, but not the cash rent agreement, but what, that?
Yeah.
You get it, okay, okay. Oh, you're good, okay, okay. Okay, everything okay for tonight? We ready to adjourn?
Yeah, make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, I'll second that. Brian, are you gonna second it?
Second.
Okay, I'll third it and we'll adjourn at 6:06. Okay, we're adjourned.